Hey, Garage Logic fans, I do a podcast on the Garage Logic Network that comes out every Wednesday and Friday now, twice a week. But here's an important caveat. There is zero logic available in my show, in the formal definition of logic. Of course, life is a yin and yang kind of thing. There's the logic side, and then there's the what the hell side, which needs to get its exercise. So come for the what the hell and stay for the you've got to be kidding me. Mishki, now Wednesdays and Fridays, twice a week.
I'm Mike King from the podcast Profiling Evil, a place where true crime meets behavioral science. I spent my career investigating serial predators and studying the psychology behind them. Here, we don't just talk about what criminals did, we explore why they do what they do. We expose manipulation and control, look at how offenders select their victims, and uncover the ways that they try to avoid detection. You can find Profiling Evil on your favorite podcast platform.
Investment Consultant brings you Garage Logic Podcast number 1654, November 5, 2025. We hit 73 degrees on this day in 2016 and 3 degrees on this day in 1951. Do yourself a favor and call Josh Arnold at 952-925-5608 for a free 48-minute consultation.
Hail the flashlight king.
And now, from the mayor's office above the boathouse on the east shore of Spoon Lake, it's Garage Logic with Chris Reavers manning Technology Corner, Kenny Olson from the Krabby Coffee Shop, John Heidt in the newsroom, and of course, the rookie. Here is your flashlight king, fireworks commissioner, and the keeper of common sense, your mayor, Joe Soucheray.
Why, hi there. Quite a day in America. The Mamdani won handily in New York.
Rest in peace, New York.
You know, I was thinking, I think I'm onto something when I say Trump overcorrects. He overcorrects. I've used the Columbus statue example in Minnesota. He'd say, not only get that back in the grounds, but then rename the Capitol building Columbus. He overcorrects. I think the left is overcorrecting everywhere. There's a lot of overcorrecting going on.
By selecting a socialist to run the world's largest city?
Oh, I think it'll work out fine. I don't understand the problem. Well, free busing. I got curious about it. Well, let's just stick to home for a moment. Only Katie Cashman was given the boot.
Right.
Isn't that amazing?
It's amazing to me because, and we do have it just breaking as we start the show, that Frey has survived. He's won the vote. He will remain mayor.
Does that mean then that Fateh will go back to fighting for us with what he was supposed to be doing while he was running for mayor?
Perhaps.
Okay.
But here's the problem. Nothing's really been solved. Well, it has. Frey can accomplish more than Fateh, at least honestly. But Frey is still going to face the same problem with having to have all this stuff. I mean, when he does a veto, they override it because they're all DSA guys and gals.
Yep.
And only Cashman got defeated. Chugtai won handily.
80% of the vote.
A guy sent me the video of a debate between Lydia Millard and Chugtai, and I think it was Steve Mulholland, and he said, well, based on this debate, there's not a chance Chugtai can win. And this Lydia Millard in Ward 10, who ran against Chugtai, was very gifted and vibrant and was not completely insane. And I thought for sure Chugtai would go down. Chugtai had no problem winning. So there's Frey's problem. He still faces the same cabal on the city council. Yes, John?
Well, I think, though, if I read this right, because this is what I put in my news, they do not have a majority to override a veto now because of losing the one vote. So there's still more of the...
How many do they need to override a veto?
They need 8, and they have 7 seats, apparently.
Well, believe me, the ones who don't identify as DSA are DSA,
And
with the
they'll
exception of
destroy them.
Latricia Vito and Mike Rainville.
They'll destroy them.
Yeah. So there are 11 votes to override a veto. Vitaw and Rainville would not override a veto, but these don't let them fool you, folks. Or do you say?
Joe, some of the victory margins were pretty big.
That's where I was going, Ken, because
Ward
I've got
1. Do you have them?
I've got Ward 9 up because this one just astounds me. Jason Chavez got roughly 90% of the vote.
Yeah.
But it was only 6,000 votes for him.
In the city of
Ward 9 is a massive,
right.
There's a massive amount of people.
Only about half the registered voters voted. 55% voted.
What about 41% was what Frey got to 32, so 9 percentage points. That just shows you that the count off, or whatever they call it, the voting stuff, is
Well, that's
a
a
non-factor.
pretty technical way to put it, though.
Yeah.
The voting
he
stuff.
won by 9%.
No, he didn't. You have to get to 50% in ranked choice voting.
That's what I'm saying. Why do they make you do that? He got 41%, which beat his opponent by 9. We don't need that other crap.
Okay, I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah. Let's undo that.
But the amount of candidates in there really waters that down, does it not? Mm-hmm. I mean, how many are 2, 4, 6, 8, 10,
How many hemp
12,
party?
14, 16 candidates?
You know, the Mink sent me a note. I deleted it because I didn't think I'd go there, but now it's intriguing me. Who generally do you see manning the polling place when you go to vote?
Oldsters.
Retirees.
Exactly. Grandmas, and it's a day of community service
And
for
they
them.
take it. You've noticed how serious they are, and it's kind of a joyful seriousness.
They love it. They're
Yeah.
engaged. They're out in the community.
Yeah.
They got the potluck and the picnic
Their
table behind.
sense of self-worth is improved. It's good for. I mean,
Yes.
I would do it when I'd rather
They
do that than sit in the home.
There's a lot of scurrying, a little
Yeah.
back and forth. You have enough pencils. Put it in a slot,
And it's wonderful.
Yeah.
Well, the Mink went to his polling place. He lives in the belly of the beast. And it was 4 young Somali girls running the table that usually you approach, and it's Mrs. Haberkamp.
Right.
What ward is he in?
I don't
Do
know.
we know?
I don't know. But I'm not alleging anything. I'm just saying that was an interesting tidbit. Where's Grandma?
Sure, everything's
They
on the
stuff her in the back room and duct tape her mouth.
Maybe she was back making sandwiches.
Yeah. Like a sandwich.
Sammy.
So
I stopped in at my polling place.
I hope so.
Doors were shut and said, "We ain't got nothing to vote on this year."
Oh, really?
I'm not joking.
Yeah, same here.
Up here, we had one thing to vote on. That was at a school board position.
We had Farmington, Lakeville, and a third.
Let me go right to the Gabe and I talked about this before the show. I got curious because the voters, of course, okayed another referendum for the schools that will add, for 10 years, $37 million a year. So in other words, every year that $37 million rolls along. And the voters voted for it. And I got curious. Have the voters in St. Paul ever refused a referendum? And sure enough, we can find, this is since 1991, Gabe?
I believe if you go to the second page.
Oh, this goes back to 67.
Yeah, that's every single time a referendum has been on a ballot.
Right. And there's been total of 30 since 1967. 30 requests for more money.
Since 67.
1967. 80% of them have passed. 24% failed. Only 6 failed. But here's what and I heard people interviewed on the news last night, the typical B-roll of the voters coming out of the polling place. Well, I suppose it was for education. I might as well. Well, here's what you're not considering. The first time in 1967, somebody undoubtedly said, "Don't worry about it. It's only an additional $18 a month."
Yeah.
Right? Okay. Then the second time it came around, they said, well, this is only another $34 a month. Do the math here for me. Add $34 to 18.
34 to
52.
18. Yep.
Okay. Well, because I'm going to keep
52.
going. Then, so the next time it came around, hey, don't worry about it. It's only $112 a year.
164.
Yeah. Now, the next time it comes around, they'll say, this is for the average home in St. Paul. This is for the kids.
Children.
This is for the children.
How
This is
much?
only going to cost you $132 a year.
296.
All right. Now, hell, we're not even out of the 60s yet. We're in the early 70s, and somebody came along and they said, this is for the children. We need more money for the schools. Keep in mind, there's no study ever performed that results in the proof that more money spent on education equals academic achievement. They're completely unrelated. Basically, this is all money going to top-heavy administration.
Right.
Okay, I'll just jump around because you're getting the
I'm
idea.
at 296.
Okay, but let's just go to the late 80s. They
Go.
said this is only for the average home in St. Paul. This is only probably, I don't know, $280 a year.
I'm done tabulating.
No, keep it going. Keep it going. So that's, oh, sure, that's for the kids. What the hell's another $280? You break that down per month.
$576.
That's nothing. So now let's go to the 90s.
Yep.
19, well, here, I'll just give you the exact one. I mean,
Are you
we
in
got,
the 90s
we
right
got
now?
we got the chart here. I'm going to go November 3rd, 1992. We passed a $32 million levy referendum with 50% of the votes went for that. 47% did not. Okay, on that one, they probably told you, hey,
Come on.
it's for the kids. They're not eating. They got rags on. They get, we have to drag them in.
Soup
It's
kitchens.
just terrible. It's a terrible situation. We got mold in
They
the
don't
school.
even have breakfast.
Oh, they can't eat. So they said that's another. That'll only cost you $281 a year.
281.
That's all.
857 you're
Okay,
at.
okay. Now we go up to.
We got some serious numbers.
In 2000, we were asked for. This is just St. Paul. In 2000, $42 million. It passed. Don't worry about it. What's $42 million in a city like this?
we can eat that.
That's $317 a year on the
Whoa,
average
that's
house.
gonna put
Where
us
are you now?
Into 4 digits, 1174.
Okay. Let's get up into the 2000s. What the hell? 2003, we passed a $46 million one. 2004, we passed a $48 million one. 2006, we passed a $50 million one. 2008, we passed a $52 million one. 2010, $54 million. I'm sorry, that one failed. God
Wait,
knows,
really?
I don't know
What
why.
year? What year?
In 2010, it failed. In 2011, they're right back at you, $56 million. That passed. November of 2012, $58 million passed. November of 2014, $60 million passed. 2016, $62 million passed. And every year, remember, you're just told the same BS.
Right.
Don't worry about it. 2020, $66 million passed. 2022, $68 million passed, and we wrap it up in 2024 with $70 million passed, and this year $37 million passed. Okay, here's what happened.
Can I be done?
Well, what when you stopped adding, where were you?
1174.
Okay, but now add a couple more grand to that. I would venture to say that $3 or $4 grand of your total property tax bill every year has been the accumulation of the school referendums. Because they just roll along, the count rides along, as Herb Carneal would say.
Great line.
So there you have it. That $37 a year that you agreed to in 1967 is still there. Only add it to all the rest as it keeps going and going and going. But you still buy this BS that it's for the kids? No, they can't budget properly. The school board is stocked with activists, and the administrations are top heavy. You don't even have the same number of kids in school that you did 5 years ago. It costs about 10 grand a year, 10 to 15 grand a year to educate a kid in private schools. We're over 20 grand a year now per pupil in public schools. Yes.
Call on me when you're done. I have a point, but I want to make.
I'm done for a moment.
Okay, my point is, so What are you going to do about it, pal?
Vote no on the referendums.
What are you going to do about all the money they're already taking?
That should be enough. That's my point. You're having declining student population.
You're never going to get
more and more money coming in. Well, once in a while, Kenny, vote no. How about every other year?
What you want is somebody to step up to the dais and say, look at these morbidly obese, hand-chewing, fat-ass foot gazers don't need any more of our money.
That's what I want.
And I know who should do that.
I will.
We're looking at him right now, brother. It's got to be you, Joe. It's got to be you.
I agree with you in everything and in theory, but are you sure that's a campaign that would succeed here in the great state of Minnesota?
No, of course not.
No, I think you're missing a crucial point.
No, we got the point, but
what is the point?
Vote no. Enough already.
No, but why? What is the point?
Because it's never going to stop.
It's never going to stop. It snowballs. It's more every year.
It's not only never going to stop. It keeps. It's like interest. It just keeps gaining. So you're in a $350,000 home on Main Street,
which is actually a $100,000 home. But yeah, go ahead.
You're paying an outrageous amount of money for a school system that isn't producing any results, that losing student population, and is too top heavy in administration. This is ridiculous.
You've got to be the one that's not only do you vote no, you have to say, I want my money back. I want half of my money back.
Can you vote hell no on a ballot?
Can you? Do they ever vote to cut taxes?
Of course not. No. And did you ever hear a candidate nationally, regionally, locally, St. Paul, Minneapolis? Did you ever hear one candidate Wang Chung did. She said, I want to reduce spending. Yep. That's not her name.
That's the name of the group.
It's Chen. And she's a biophysicist, probably a sharp cookie. Mm-hmm. And she didn't stand a chance because nobody ever heard of her.
Right.
But she was the only one I heard that said, let's reduce spending.
Will the new mayor of St. Paul have as many cabinet members as Melvin?
My guess is no. My guess is she's got some good advisors.
What do you expect when you have a governor that spends the surplus and then raises your taxes on top of that? What do you expect? And then can't keep books in his own house.
Yeah, I got that today, too. A little fraud in the government. Not fraud, just complete incompetence.
Dumbness, yeah.
I guess what I'm trying to say is that the average citizen might go to the polls without factoring in at all the impact of a yes vote on a referendum on their own personal finances. They just think, well, I can afford to.
How can they be that stupid?
Well, they are.
You know what? That's the question right there. Right there.
No one is suggesting we shouldn't provide the education, and no one is suggesting
that
sounds
like you are.
The school needs a functioning furnace. No, you're still missing the point. You're all being vent scat. You're all being a bunch of vent scats.
No, those two words don't go together.
It doesn't sound.
Oh, you're being a bunch of vents.
Okay, that's better.
Scat heads. That's what we are. We're being scat heads.
That's better.
No. Oh, what the hell?
We got the point. I definitely got the point.
Apparently nobody got the point. Point is...
What's the point?
The point is the voters are not paying attention. They're just not paying attention. Right. They did, thank God, in eliminating Melvin. Melvin, I don't know what to tell you. Thank you for your service. Well, I don't know. You didn't do anything, but thank you for your service. Yeah. I think Melvin just kept waiting for 2 terms for that call from Washington, D.C., the DNC. Well, never came. It never came.
You ever see the movie Endless Summer where they were in search of the endless wave?
Yeah.
That's what Melvin was on.
When am I going to get that call? Look at me. Look at this suit I got on. Look at this.
At least if he's looking for a silver lining, his commute won't change.
No.
That's a good point.
He was a stranger around City Hall, wasn't he?
He was a homebody.
I've always said you'll regret the person Once you vote someone new in, you'll regret the predecessor. There's exceptions to that rule.
I think we just...
Melvin cannot possibly be regretted in any way.
I have my feelers out to see if we can get the mayor-elect on with you.
Well, here's the deal with Kaoli Her. She might even show up at the office, and I'm praying that she gets rid of these 20 positions that are costing the taxpayers a fortune and resulting in nothing. Melvin created out of whole cloth the Office of Butterfly Intrusion, and that person gets $110,000 a year, health benefits, vacations, and everything. None of them do anything. So goodbye, Melvin. Good luck to you.
What's his next job going to be, I wonder? Is he going to take? Is some Democrat going to take him under the wing?
Podcast host.
He's going to be a shut-in.
He's already a shut-in.
Right.
Winter will soon be here. In fact, as soon as Saturday, snowflakes are predicted.
What are you, Game of Thrones?
I don't know what
Winter is coming.
Well, get your garage door taken care of. Call Precision Garage Door. If you need a new door, they have models for every budget, and GLers get $100 off a single door and $200 off a double door. A garage designer comes out. That consultation is absolutely free, of course, and you can really improve the aesthetics and security and insulation of your home with a brand new garage door. Do it before winter. If you love your current door, but she's making a little groaning, she's groaning a little bit, and you wonder, I don't want that baby to fail and pop on me in late December. Precision Door is offering a noisy door tune-up special for $149. You get a little diagnostic check there, and you can find out if you're going to survive or not. Book online at precisiondoormn.com or call Precision Door at 612-263-6985. Schedule a free on-site new door estimate with Precision Door or book a noisy door tune-up special.
Reavers here once again for my guy, Mr. Money Talk, Josh Arnold. Does thinking about retirement make you uncomfortable? Well, sometimes the anxiety from wondering if you've saved enough can be overwhelming. But what if I told you that you could ease those tensions in just 48 minutes? Well, Mr. Money Talk is going to be able to sit down with you and get you on the right track for your financial future. Josh has navigated it all when it comes to uncertain market and economic conditions, and he'll always provide straight talk, never sugar-coated advice on how to reach the finish line with your retirement goals. Don't let your financial worries give you an ulcer or keep you from calling Josh right now. His 48-minute, no-obligation consultation could be just what you need to feel better about your future. Call Josh today at 952-925-5608 and set up your free 48-minute, no-obligation consultation. That's 952-925-5608.
Investment services offered by Josh Arnold Investment Consultant, LLC, a security investment advisor. Past performance is no guarantee of future results. All investments involve risk. All comments and opinions are Josh Arnold's and do not constitute investment advice.
Chris Reavers is a paid endorser.
Listen,
The earth is not your mother. The Joe Souchere Show.
I was traveling down the road, baby hungry and cold, thought I'd find... you can get rid of that video, Chris, because I want to talk about Deep Creep. Paul in Buffalo weighs in. Hey, dummy. Just came from the auto parts store, and I'm about to change the oil in my MG. This is where Joe says, MG? What MG? A 1977 B MG.
Call me.
Paul continues, I have at least 4 bottles of Seafoam, so it's good to go there, but only one Deep Creep, and it was feeling kind of low. But I couldn't find it on the shelf next to all the Pretenders. No, John, not Chrissy. Okay, different Pretender. I was asked if I needed anything else. I said, I need Deep Creep, but you don't have it. She went to the chemicals, looked, and said, where is it? And then suddenly, there it was. It's the black bottle with green lettering, and it seemed to appear right before our very eyes. They changed the packaging. It's kind of yellow letters, but yeah, green. I can see you saying that. And yeah, Paul thinks it seems like something somebody like me should have maybe released a PSA. I did, Paul, in fact, forget to hit send on that memo. The packaging on Deep Creep has changed in the last year or so. Now it's fancy black and green and or yellow, and it's got a cool flip-top straw thing. The product, though, the product is the same, the best on the shelf. And the best on the shelf needs to be in your home, garage, shop, whatever. Deep Creep by Seafoam does everything better than everything else. Look for it in the fine automotive chemical aisle in a store near you. Deep Creep.
The people who vote no, they're almost winning occasionally. In November of 22, we passed a $68 million referendum, but only by 3,000 votes. In 2024, we passed a $70 million referendum, but only by 2,000 votes. So there are people who realize what a scam this is.
The problem is, Joe, it's a boring topic. And you really have to engage the voter and be very, very creative to get them to vote no. Because like you said, it's an emotional thing. Kids. You want your kids to do well.
And
like you said, it's only a few dollars per year.
Yeah. I got news for you. That money's not, the kid's not going to see that money. You're going to get another third assistant or principal to walk around with an iPad and pretend to be doing something.
What BS did you guys just tell me off the air? You're up to $20,000 per year per pupil? That doesn't seem right.
Public school is about $21,000 a year to educate a kid.
Wow.
And the Catholic schools or private schools of any kind are doing it for half that. Half that.
But the problem with that is if you're sending your kid to private school, you're also still paying for public school.
Kenny, you beat me to it, you son of a...
So you're actually paying twice, Such.
That's kind of nice. You're not only educating your kids, but you're going to educate everybody.
This is Minnesota. We're all about the kids here.
I'm aware of that. Well, let's examine Zorro's. I'm sure he'll be called Zorro, right? Zorhan Mamdani.
Yeah. Mark of Zorro.
I think the New Yorkers overcorrected, but there you are. I mean, you didn't have much of a choice. You either voted for a guy who killed your grandma during COVID or Curtis Sliwa, you know.
Well, that's the thing, because Cuomo wasn't exactly a good candidate.
I don't think so at all, no. But I'm curious about the free buses, because nothing is free. So how's this going to work? Well, let's see what we got here. There's a number of stories I could have chosen from. I went just to please the euphorians, the people from Liberal Lakes and Diversityville. I went with CBS as opposed to Fox. Back in the summer of 2024, the Metropolitan Transit Authority in New York was in the midst of a funding crisis. Mm-hmm. That was exacerbated by a problem, fare evasion, just like we have here on light rail.
Right.
People are getting on the buses in New York and they're not paying. At the time, CBS News New York learned that nearly 50% of bus riders were not paying. And what is a typical socialist response to that? Not expect somebody to pay. Let's make it free.
Yeah.
Let's make it free. So nearly 50% of bus riders weren't paying. That was $315 million a year in lost revenue.
Goodness.
So along comes Zorro. He was a Queens assemblyman. He said people weren't paying because they can't afford it.
What a shame.
Well, that's his contention. The bus system in New York's in trouble because nobody can afford to, 50% can't afford to ride the bus, all right? So he then suggested making buses free and having the city and the state pay the Metropolitan Transit Authority.
Got it.
So he understands it's not free. But get this. If the city and state pay it, he said, well, that'll require about $800 million a year. Now, that sounds like a lot of money, and it is substantial. But in the context of a city budget that's north of $100 billion and a state budget that's north of $220 billion, that's just pennies, Mamdani said. While Mamdani's mayoral opponents were quick to criticize the idea, it resonated with New Yorkers. Basically, it's free busing that launched this guy. We're going to get you on that bus, and you're not going to have to pay. Never mind that $800 million has to be come up with. And the irony is, a lot of the people who supposedly can't pay for the bus will see their taxes in a variety of different areas go up in their life to pay the $800 million for the supposed free bus ride.
If we were doing this podcast in New York City, we could hear Joe here for free buses.
Yeah, let's go.
I don't ride the bus, but if I do, I hope it's free. Political expert J.C. Polanco, a professor at the University of Mount St. Vincent in the Bronx, recently told CBS News New York the biggest hurdle Mamdani would face in making free buses a reality is the Metropolitan Transit Authority itself, because it controls the cost of bus fares. Mamdani would need the support of those members of the MTA, which means you need the support of the state and those officials who appoint those individuals to the MTA, Polanco said. He added that because congestion pricing is the law of the land and the transit agency has a massive deficit, he believes the odds of New Yorkers getting to enjoy free buses are slim to none. Well, of course it's slim to none.
Somebody's got to pay for it.
Speaking on Thursday, MTA chairman and CEO Janno Lieber didn't seem amenable to the idea of making buses free. I want to make sure that people of limited income get priority in this discussion, that we're not just giving a ton of money to people who are riding the 104 on the Upper West Side where I grew up, the bus on Broadway, Lieber said. Of course, the Metropolitan Transit Authority has all sorts of financial issues that they have to sort out. Political reporter Nick Reisman said the morning after the election. Maybe we'll see a pilot program. A lot of it is going to be dependent upon how much Mamdani is willing to compromise. And most importantly, where is he going to get the money to pay for it? Because you got to buy fuel, you got to have insurance, you got to have maintenance, you got to have a shed to keep the bus in. Mamdani told CBS News in September that he would pay for free buses along with other Democratic socialist policies, in part by increasing the corporate tax rate to 11.5%. Apparently that's the same as New Jersey. And instituting a flat 2% tax rate for individuals earning $1 million or more. My vision for making the most expensive city in the United States of America affordable is actually one that benefits all of us, he said. Well, not really. It doesn't benefit the small business owner scratching out in New York $1 million a year, which is not that much money anymore in this day and age. It's not good for him. You want another 2% for him on top of what he's already paying in taxes. Mm-hmm. There is some precedent for free buses in New York. The MTA suspended fares on most local buses in 2020 during the coronavirus pandemic. Then in 2023, the MTA initiated a fare-free pilot program that ran for almost a year, ending Aug 31, 2024, amid the fare evasion epidemic. In other words, nobody was paying anyway. The program, which served around 43,000 riders, offered free trips on the Bronx, some bus line. The MTA originally said the fare-free initiative would last 6 months, but fares were not collected for 342 days. At that time, Lieber said of providing free service, there's no room for losing a couple of $2 billion in bus revenue. So the first problem Mamdani will face is living up to this BS he touted during the election, why I'm going to make all the buses free. There is no such thing. It has to be paid for. And I can't see the members of the Metropolitan Transit Authority. I'm having great cartoon bubbles about them saying, what the hell is he talking about?
Well, not to mention, if that does happen, because it probably won't, how many of these bus drivers are going to say, I am not dealing with this?
I forgot that. You got to pay for the bus drivers, too.
He doesn't even have the authority.
Of course not.
Any of this.
No. He doesn't have the authority to do most of it.
Kenny, are you trying to say that a guy might have lied during his campaign?
Well, I would like the sun to come up in the west. I think that would be more convenient.
Vote Kenny Olson.
Shine in my windows, my kitchen windows in the morning.
Yeah, vote for me and see if I can make that happen.
Joe, subway and bus fares in New York, $2.90 for most riders on subways and local limited rush and select bus services. Express buses, $7.
Mm-hmm. Hans does say, Joe here for free buses. I don't ride the bus, but if I did, I wouldn't pay for it.
Right. Well, it's just going to be...
it's going to be great.
You also, Joe, have to pay a toll in and out of Manhattan for every bridge and tunnel you take, depending on the vehicle you're in.
But the very people Mamdani believes he is appealing to will end up paying probably more for so-called free buses because some other variety of taxes will be created that those poor people will still be subjected to. But then when they get on the bus, they can pretend it's free.
What about the government-run grocery store?
That's the shell game.
He's going to run into the same problem.
Bananas are going to be $8.99 a pound.
Well, according to one woman yesterday, the potatoes are already $5 a piece.
Yeah, we got to lower costs somehow.
If you had a city grocery store, that wouldn't be the case.
It was $5 a pound when what did we discover? They're 79 cents a pound.
Right.
Yeah. And that millionaires don't pay taxes
at
all?
They don't pay any taxes.
How many millionaires are going to be left with in New York after the first of the year? It's going to be great. They're going to be okay.
You know the Schneemann kid?
Well, what's Mamdani going to do for the money that he needs? Where's he going to get it?
Great question.
Yes,
the Schneemann kid was on Saturday Night Live, and he was on the news update kind of talking about himself.
He's a local kid.
And he talked about his first fairway jump in the subway.
Fairway jump?
Well, he fare evasion. His first fare evasion.
A fairway is a little pouch you put something in.
No.
Don't play along. He jumped the turnstile.
He jumped the turnstiles. And he said he was very proud of himself. He said it was on his way out, and nobody really gave him a hard time when he did that. It took a little while. Okay,
I got it.
It was on the exit.
He was leaving.
Yeah,
he was leaving.
But he was very proud that he.
But I'm lost.
Well, Chris, he jumped the turnstile, leaving the subway platform.
Oh, wait, okay. I was a little slow there.
I thought it was kind of fun.
A little slow. It was like a rat's nest in there, and it has to be vacuumed out.
Well, I didn't. Okay,
gotcha.
Do you really think the average New Yorker is going to notice any change at all? You've been saying for the past month or so, it's too big to fail. I mean, the average guy going to work in the subway on a daily basis, is he going to notice any big changes during this administration?
No.
A better question is who will see changes?
Or a better way to put it might be that
No, I thought I put it pretty good.
Yeah, well, New York is so big.
How big is it?
Well, he can't. Ruining it would take too much effort. He can't ruin it completely.
A better question, forget I even asked that, is it possible that he could turn New York around the way Giuliani did? Giuliani made what was a really fun, crime-riddled Gotham. You could get stabbed in the face in Times Square at noon. He really turned that around and kind of made it family-friendly and polished it up and shiny and cleaned the scat up out of the gutters and whatnot.
Okay, let me ask you something.
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, what do you think Mamdani envisions by the phrase turning it around?
Excellent question to my question.
By turning it around to a socialist, you're not worried about the guy getting stabbed in the face at noon on Broadway.
Yeah.
That's not... Giuliani straightened it up because he was sticking to some core values that have worked for 200 years.
Yeah.
And now along comes a 35-year-old, very charismatic young guy who excited young people, but has absolutely no idea about convention or tradition in this country, nor does he express any adherence to it whatsoever. No. So I don't know what he means when he says, I'm going to turn it around.
You just hit on the important thing right there. In your innocence, you don't even know that you said it.
I probably don't.
Coles and I had former U.S. Attorney Andy Luger on today, and at the end of the interview, he's from Brooklyn originally. We asked him about that, about the new mayor, and he said what you just said. He engaged the voters. He engaged the young people. No other candidate did that, and that's why he's the mayor.
And he's taking advantage of a big corral full of young people who've been thoroughly destroyed by the failed academy.
Yeah.
They don't know if they're on foot or horseback.
There's not enough Gabes in the world, our Gabe.
No.
Despite the tiki juice incident.
Well, it's always apropos, isn't it?
Yes.
To talk about Sioux Falls. If you're looking for a place to expand your business or move your business or maybe even start a new business, you might consider Sioux Falls, South Dakota, the most populous city in South Dakota, but with a great, great friendly work environment, large, well-educated workforce, cost of living is low, centrally located, developed industrial parks. Contact the Sioux Falls Development Foundation. They'll steer you to the resources that'll help you make your decision. Voted the #1 best small city for business and careers by Forbes magazine. There's no state, corporate, or personal income tax, no inheritance tax, no limits to what your business can achieve. That's Sioux Falls, South Dakota, and you can learn really tempting stuff on SiouxFallsDevelopment.com.
Here's a man who spends hours in hardware stores, sifting through the nuts and bolts of life. Joe Souchere.
I'd like to welcome my friends to Awaken 180 Weight Loss back to the Garage Logic program. Here's the deal, ladies and gentlemen. If you are serious about taking advantage of a wonderful program and making yourself a healthier, happier you, I've been doing this program and it's made an amazing difference. I'm down 4 pounds just this week, and that's the beauty of it. It's not a gimmick. No, there's no meds. There's no working out. There's no gimmicks to this program. You eat, you listen to your coach, you make some small adjustments along the way, and most men are going to lose between 4 to 5 pounds per week, every week. Your energy level's great. I feel better. That's the amazing part of the Awaken 180 Weight Loss program. You know what? I spoke with my coach, Emma, this morning. She's fantastic, but you can find out for yourself. Go to their website, awaken180weightloss.com. That's 180, or call them directly at 844-346-1800 for that free consultation. You can still go out. You can still tailgate. You can still have drinks, but it's an amazing program that's made a difference for thousands and thousands and thousands of people. Again, awaken180weightloss.com or 844-346-1800. Please do me a favor and mention that you heard about them on the Garage Logic podcast.
Can you see Mamdani going to the headquarters of the Metropolitan Transit Authority? I'm seeing the set for the taxi. And there's guys in there with about half a cigar in their mouth, and Mamdani says, "Hi, I'm your new mayor. I want bus rides to be free." And these guys look at each other and they say, "You do, huh?"
Yeah.
Well, who's paying me my $200,000 a year?
Right.
He's going to run into a lot of problems. Here's John Heidt with his newscast.
How do we do that?
They're all union guys, too.
Oh, hell
they?
Yeah.
And you know how you get treated, how non-union people get treated by union people?
Good luck, Zorro.
Yeah.
This news brought to you by North American Banking Company. As we've been talking, Election Day yesterday, and here's, let me give you some Minnesota highlights. St. Paul will have a new mayor next year, as we've said. State Rep. Keoli Herr made history by beating Melvin Carter. When she swore in, Herr becomes the first woman and first Asian American to serve as the city's mayor. Well, Carter held a nearly 2,000 vote lead initially. No candidate reached the majority threshold to be declared winner, sending the ranked choice race to a second round, and that's where Herr pulled ahead, earning an extra 6,000.
Okay, so now I do like it.
earning an extra 6,411 votes compared to Carter's 2,807 to unseat Carter, who has held the office since 2018. In the end, her won 47.76% of the vote to Carter's 44.98%. Carter congratulated her on the win and said he's proud of the work his office accomplished during his time.
What?
As mayor.
What was it?
No specifics
Name
were
something.
mentioned. Yeah, no specifics were mentioned.
You know, it's beautiful, though. Melvin lost, and we never even had him on the show.
Well, yeah, I don't think he wanted to come on.
Okay.
In Minneapolis, Jacob Frey won re-election, holding off a challenge from Minnesota Senator Omar Fateh and 13 other candidates to win a third term. Frey won 41.76% of the first choice votes Tuesday, 10 percentage points more than Fateh. However, because neither candidate received at least 50% of the vote, tabulation moved to the second round. After 2 rounds of tabulation, Frey had 73,723 votes, or 50%, compared to Fateh's 65,377, 44%. That earned Frey another 4 years in office. As far as the city council races went, a lot of familiar names, as we've talked about already, did win the election. Although in Ward 7, Katie Cashman was defeated by Elizabeth Schaefer. Schaefer ending up with a little more than 52% of the vote. The results showed 7 progressive, 6 of them incumbents, winning seats on the 13-member city council. 7 seats would be enough to hold a majority, but not enough to override a mayor's veto.
Sounds like Minneapolis could remain in neutral.
Yeah,
sure.
Treading water.
As I ask this question, I can already hear Dan McGrath typing a furious email our direction.
Don't ask it then.
Involved.
No. John said, we got the first round and only got 41%. Didn't get to the 50% required. So was the second round we go to who you chose for the second place in ranked choice? Is that how that works?
Uh-huh.
You have no idea.
It is.
Okay. That's what I was asking. I just wanted to
That's the way it works.
Okay.
I'm not going to comment because I don't want to be wrong.
That's the way it works.
Well, you didn't really convince me with your answer.
That's the way it goes that way.
You can do it.
You can get them.
Democrats will keep a slim 34-33 majority in the state Senate after easily winning a special election where Republicans had hoped to capitalize on any voter discontent with the DFL after former state Senator Nicole Mitchell resigned in the wake of a burglary conviction. DFL State Rep Amanda Hemmingson-Jagger beat Republican Dwight Dorough by 24 percentage points. Mitchell had won the office in 2022, actually with a smaller margin, beating Dorough by about 17 percentage points. Republican Michael Holmstrom Jr. easily won a special election for state Senate by 24 percentage points in a different district, a conservative-leaning district that includes Buffalo, Annandale, and Monticello. Longtime Republican Senator Bruce Anderson died in July at the age of 75. As you talked about, Joe, Minnesota voters approving lots of money in funding for local schools yesterday. At least 42 of the 70 Minnesota school districts that had ballot questions for voters received approval of at least one measure. As of 7 this morning, some results still weren't in, but as I said, 42 of 70 had received the money last evening.
Don't worry, there'll be another initiative next year.
Well, we already ran out of that money you approved last year.
Yeah.
The Minnesota Legislative Auditor found a dozen financial issues that needed to be corrected in the office of Governor Walz and Lieutenant Governor Peggy Flanagan. No allegations of fraud. The issues mostly amounted to sloppy bookkeeping.
Hey, whatever happened to Flanagan? She's been completely
She's on
dropped out
double
of
secret probation.
Oh, no. She's
running for
running
Senate,
for
right?
Senate.
Yeah,
I know, but I haven't heard a peep out of her.
She is very active on social media.
Oh.
Yeah.
She wearing a headdress or anything like that?
No, I haven't seen her with the Trans Lives Matter with the knife with the blood dripping from it. I haven't seen that picture in a while.
Minnesota Legislative Auditor Judy Randall said the main thing we're concerned about here is the lack of internal controls that create an opportunity for something worse to happen, and that's what we look for, and that's what our auditors do in these audits. It's all about looking at compliance and internal controls. The governor's office says it's already resolved 11 of the 12 issues identified in the report. Among the findings, the office did not manage its receipts as required by state law and office policies. The office didn't provide adequate oversight of timesheet completion and approval. The office did not issue correct retroactive pay rate adjustments for 7 employees, and the office made numerous late payments to vendors as well as inaccurate payments. Senator Ann Rest, a DFLer from New Hope, said the pattern of inattention to the protocols that define the internal controls and segregation of duties is appalling. Why don't we take a quick break here? We'll have the national election scoop for you in a minute. First, though, let's hear from the rookie.
Thank you very much, Mr. Heidt. And I want to tell you about Minnesota Masonic Charities. They are a wonderful, wonderful outfit, and they do help a lot of people. Their website, mnmasoniccharities.org. In 2006, several long-standing charities in Minnesota Masonry combined. What did they do? They created one umbrella organization, Minnesota Masonic Charities, with a mission to promote even greater levels of philanthropy. Today, MMC is the most influential grant makers in Minnesota and an essential service provider that positively impacts outcomes in education, cancer research, elder care, children's health, community service, and the preservation of Masonic history. If you want to learn more about their philanthropy, their scholarships, or their services, go to mnmasoniccharities.org. That's mnmasoniccharities.org, and tell them you heard it on the Garage Logic podcast. Looking up all the information right now.
Here's a man who spends hours in hardware stores sifting through the nuts and bolts of life. Joe Souchere.
Let's talk about our great friends at North American Banking Company, investing in your success since 1998, when they made a promise to deliver a better banking experience for you, your family, and also your business. You can check them out online today. It's nabankco.com to learn more. Online and mobile banking are important for everyone these days. And you might think that a community bank would have versions of these that were last updated in like 2012, but North American Banking Company has the same online and mobile banking tools as all those big national banks. And they're so easy and convenient to use and navigate. I do it all the time. And while I can do a lot of my banking online, there are times when I just need to speak to a person and not a chat bot like some of those other big national banks. And that's why the employees are super friendly and also extremely knowledgeable. And they know me, and they're always ready to help. So check them out for yourself. They have 6 Twin Cities locations to serve you. It's Roseville, 50th in France, Woodbury, Hastings, Shoreview, and also Maple Grove. Once again, nabankco.com to learn more. It's banking done differently. North American Banking Company, member FDIC, is an equal housing lender. Johnny?
Thanks, Chris. In national and international news, election stuff nationally, as we've been talking about, Democratic Socialist Zoran Mamdani won New York's mayoral race after the 34-year-old energized progressives in the city and across the country while generating intense backlash from President Trump and Republicans, as well as some Democratic moderates. The final vote tallies had Mamdani defeating Andrew Cuomo by about 9 points, 50% to 41%.
You know, I'm sorry, John. Go ahead. Go ahead. Are you done with that?
That was the end of that story.
Oh, you know what would be fun, interesting? We get all kinds of statistics on voters. You know, men, women, this and that. Be fun to get the statistics on who non-American born voters vote for.
Ooh. It's also nice to know that it's 1 o'clock at the Height
How do you, is that it? Do you think that's available? I don't think we can get that info.
I don't know. It'd just be interesting.
Yeah, it would be.
That win just won for Democrats nationally. They won the governorships in Virginia and New Jersey also, and Democrats also swept judicial races in Pennsylvania and in California. Democratic voters easily passed that plan to redraw the state's congressional districts in response to Republican redistricting in Texas. In New Jersey, Representative Mikey Sherrill decisively defeated Republican businessman Jack Ciattarelli in a race that had become closer in recent polls. Democrat Abigail Spanberger won the race for for Virginia governor after a closely watched election, which her party hopes could signal a national trend. With almost all the votes counted, the former congresswoman and CIA officer defeated the state's Republican Lieutenant Governor Winsome Earl Sears. Virginia's leadership usually swings between Democrats and Republicans. Political watchers saying the two governors' races could be a reading for the electorate's mode going into next year's midterm elections. Both those gubernatorial races saw the Democratic candidates campaigning partially against President Trump and his influence over the Republican Party.
You got to check out this Abigail Spanberger, who won the governor's race in Virginia.
Yeah.
She's got a beak on her. It's almost prehistoric. I mean, it might be the largest nose on a human being.
You saying Toucan Sam?
Oh, it's a beauty. It's just a honker. It's just massive. Yeah, but you kind of need a side view to get the real...
Like Halloween mask?
Yeah, exactly.
Come on, this isn't that bad.
When the light hits it right.
When the light hits it right from a side
big
view,
shadow.
she could pound that sucker through a concrete wall. It's just it's a weapon.
Here, I thought you were going to talk about the fact of a candidate who we featured on the show a couple of days ago.
Winsome Sears?
No, Mikey. Is it Mickey or Mikey?
Yeah. It's Mikey.
Mikey
Sherrill, who flunked the question on what would you do with a...
Oh, and she said, that's a great question.
Yeah.
Well, no, it's pretty basic there, Mikey.
Did she win?
Oh, yeah.
She won.
Slam dunk.
And the big breather won.
Love
And
that baby.
Big breather.
look at that thing. Look at that thing. I love it. I like noses.
Oh.
I'm pro nose.
Noted.
Yeah.
You want to suck on that nose?
Jesus.
Daddy.
Wow.
Let's move along to California now, where voters approve new congressional district
I'd like to take a
boundaries,
little nip of it. Yeah.
What the hell is wrong with you?
delivering a victory for Democrats in the state-by-state redistricting battle that will help determine which party wins control of the U.S. House in
What's the
2026.
bird with the giant... is it a
Toucan?
macaw? A toucan.
Toucan.
Yeah. That's
Jesus.
Toucan Sam. Fruit Loops.
Chris said that.
Chris
like
said
3
that.
minutes
Chris
ago.
said that. I don't know who said it.
I said Fruit Loops. I don't know who said it.
But I think it was Chris.
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I think so.
He finally got something right, huh?
Yeah.
The approval of Proposition 50 gives Democrats a shot at winning as many as 5 additional seats, just enough to blunt Texas Republicans' move to redraw their own maps to pick up 5 GOP seats at the president's urging.
Did you guys see?
You like pert little noses? I know. I like it.
I like honkers.
I like a honker.
I like everything big on a broad.
Yeah.
Everything.
Nice segue.
Did you guys see the viral video of this vote that Johnny was just talking about? What was it called again? Something 50? Something
Proposition 50.
Thank you. The mail-in ballots for this particular election.
Yeah.
If you selected no, when you put the ballot back into the envelope to put it back into the mail, you could see it checkmark no from the way it sat inside the envelope. So they were basically thrown away.
Really?
Yes, you have to look it up.
I'm sure it was all on.
It's
I'm going to
comical.
look that up, Chris, obviously.
Okay. In fact, I'll play it for you guys.
Economic worries were the dominant concerns as voters cast ballots for the election, according to the preliminary findings of an AP voter poll. The results of the survey of more than 17,000 voters in New Jersey, Virginia, California, and New York City said the public was troubled by an economy that they say seems trapped by higher prices and fewer job opportunities. Despite the president saying in interviews the economy is fine, voters didn't seem to agree. Since October, the federal government shutdown has only compounded that sense of uncertainty, according to those polled. Conservative members of the Supreme Court this morning appeared skeptical of President Trump's sweeping unilateral tariffs midway through arguments in that case. That's a pivotal test of executive power for a tool central to his broader agenda. While the questions at times seem to challenge the rationale for the tariffs, the arguments are still ongoing. Further questioning could shed additional light on their positions.
John, are you trying to suggest that California's above voter integrity? Is that what you're trying to tell me?
I refuse to have this discussion at this point.
Okay, well, all right.
A UPS cargo plane crashed shortly. I'm still waiting for a lot of proof from you from discussions recently, Chris, but let's ignore that. A UPS cargo plane
Well, I'm not
crashed shortly
wrong,
after
John. I saw it.
Well, on Twitter.
You know what?
You know what?
You all
Stop
can
now. I want John to do this story because Matthew and
Kenny's
I are going to.
been waiting for
Matthew
this
and
story.
I have dueling facts that we're going to lay on you.
And I
about
have some
this story.
information about it.
Okay.
I'm actually skipping stories, Kenny, so that I can get to it. Okay?
All right. I hope you're ready, Matt.
No
'cause I got more.
No passengers on that plane.
A UPS cargo plane, I shouldn't laugh. A UPS cargo plane crashed shortly after taking off from Louisville, Kentucky airport yesterday, leaving a fiery trail of destruction. At least 9 people have died. Others are injured, according to officials, warning the death toll still could climb. Passenger flights to and from Louisville are now resuming this morning, according to the airport's website, but they are hampered by a major backlog of delayed flights from Tuesday night and only one runway currently in operation.
It was a dreadful scene.
Go ahead, Matthew.
Are you talking about UPS flight 2976?
Yeah, I am.
Go ahead.
That was an MD-11, first launched in 1990 as a passenger plane. Hasn't carried a passenger flight since 2014. FedEx currently flies 42 McDonnell Douglas MD-11 cargo planes.
Thank you for giving it its proper title. It is McDonnell Douglas MD-11F cargo jet is the full title of the aircraft. The fire fueled by its pretty much full.
It was going to Honolulu.
It was going to Honolulu, so there was a lot of gas. So there was a massive fire when it tried to leave Louisville's Muhammad Ali International Airport, which is the call sign SDF.
By a lot of fuel, let me set you straight.
Why are we
38,000 gallons of jet fuel, weighing approximately 228,000 pounds on board that jet.
Holy
yeah, that explosion and massive fire instantly engulfed the
What are you,
nearby industrial
Huntley
area.
Brinkley here?
Catastrophic loss of life and property. Although correct, there were no passengers on board. I believe a crew of 3, and there was life lost in the airport area.
I'd like to know when the fire started, because as they are ascending, you can see the fire.
Yeah, I don't know anything about that.
Right, that any knuckle dragger would see that if he watched any one of the news shows. I would just like to add that the ground altitude speed about 211 miles per hour, that being about 184 knots if you're an airplane aficionado.
You're telling me that plane had 200,000 pounds of fuel?
That is what surprised me the most. When I heard the roommate said it had 38,000 gallons, I got up in her face. Who's that little manager, that little half-pint little guy that walks up to the
Earl Weaver.
I did an Earl Weaver nose to nose with my wife last night, disputing that fact. Turned out she's right. 38,000 gallons.
And I'm worried when I'm on a plane and every seat's full because I think it can't get off the ground.
That's the least of your problems.
Right.
Holy mackerel.
So, go ahead, Matt.
Well, I was just going to say earlier they had expressed the sadness that 11 people have died, but it's only down to 9 right now. But they are missing
11
people.
injured.
So you guys, that oft-repeated joke of mine I use for various airplanes, that if you're flying to DFW, you have to stop 14 times and it takes 2 days to fill up. Maybe that's what we want. Maybe we just want a 100-gallon fuel tank.
Just keep refueling.
Yeah, just...
Those poor pilots didn't stand a chance, did they?
No, they probably knew right away. Because they were heading right for a company. It was a recycling company that has storage tanks of oil and propane.
Did that also catch fire?
Yes.
Oof. Yikes.
That was a big one.
Yeah.
Dick Cheney, former vice president, died yesterday. George W. Bush's vice president died from complications of pneumonia, cardiac, and vascular disease, according to his family. He worked behind the scenes during his vice presidency, was viewed as, a fellow who worked behind the scenes. In fact, President Bush called him the Darth Vader of his administration. No one seemed more amused at that perception than Cheney himself, saying, "Am I the evil genius in this corner that nobody ever sees come out of his hole?" It's a nice way to operate, actually. Cheney was 84. I knew he had some health issues. He used to smoke 3 packs of heaters a day.
Nice.
5 heart attacks. His first in 1978 at the age of 37. I don't recall this. He had a heart transplant in 2012. You guys remember?
Didn't he shoot a guy when they were out hunting?
That. He did. He did.
Did he wear that heart out too? Did he go through 2 of them?
No. Well, this one is part of what killed him. He had some cardio issues. So.
John, he was one of the insiders, one of the few Americans that actually knows what went down in Dealey Plaza.
In other news, U.S. News and World Report says for 2026, Midland, Michigan ranks as the #1 place to retire in the United States of America. If you're wondering about other places.
Is it near Dearborn?
Number 2 is Weirton, West Virginia. 3, Homosassa Springs, Florida. A couple places in Texas, etc. I did the whole list of 250 was on their website. There's not one Minnesota city in there.
What Michigan? though? I mean, they have winter.
You got to deal with winter.
Well, here's why they rank 8th in quality in life, 11th in affordability, 18th in tax friendliness, medium home value $206,000, which puts it way below the national average of $370,000.
Midland, Michigan.
Midland, Michigan. I would like to point out Bismarck, North Dakota. Number 11.
To retire?
To retire.
Well, you're up there in the prairie. You get your wind.
Would you like to retire there, John?
I could. Wouldn't bother me. Wouldn't hate it. Wouldn't love it. You know. What are you going to do?
Just
by the way, Sioux Falls.
Thanks for letting us in, John.
Top 20, 16. So,
John, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. We'll take a time out.
To be pro.
Who's doing something?
Nobody.
And now, a man who has never had a relationship with a tree, Joe Souchere.
The Family Leave Act. Let's clarify the tax deal if we didn't yesterday. It's 0.44% from the employer and 0.44% from the employee.
I thought we
covered that yesterday.
We did.
Yes.
Yeah.
That equals 0.88.
And in my meeting yesterday with my company, this is going to be...
I thought this was your company, Garage Logic.
Well, it is.
It was until 2018.
Until 2018. Until I had to change my medical benefits, yes. It's going to be difficult for all businesses, not just mine.
The other thing is, I don't think we're terribly underestimating how much fraud's going to exist with this.
Small businesses are going to get killed by this.
Right, because your part-time employees are eligible for this.
Right. And if you don't think they're going to figure this out early, how to work it, excuse me.
It was created by an ideology that is pervasive throughout politics. I've been thinking about it with this news that the state auditor, while not charging Walz with fraud, certainly found a variety of incompetence in his office. Just basic stuff that they apparently don't know about. You know, paying your bills and keeping a record and doing this. They just...
Vendor payment problems, payroll issues, receipt management, property management.
What I'm thinking applies to Trump. It applies to Mamdani. It applies to Aisha Chugtai. It applies to the person who is answering the call of a political life. It probably used to be in this country that those who wanted to run in order to take care of the things that we had, keep things running smoothly, and they appreciated the way the country operated.
But
so
they had
were
some kind of history, some private history.
But they were aware of things like bridges and streets and street lights and parks and maintenance, and things had to be taken care of. We are electing people that not only have no knowledge of any of that, they have no interest in any of that. Rather than take care of things and get out of the way of the average American, make their life easier by streamlining regulations and laws and ordinances. Rather than do that, we're electing people that want to tell you how you should live, that want to reshape the way Americans should lead their lives. So Mamdani is a perfect example, but no more or less perfect example than Trump. It applies to everybody. They want to take care of changing lifestyle. And I just wish that interstellar object would get closer. Are you aware of the latest on the interstellar object?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, it shows signs of acceleration beyond what is expected by gravity, which is another way of saying it's able to defy gravity. This is a large device that astronomers are monitoring, including Harvard. Okay, euphorians, it's not just me. If you haven't been following the story, on July 1, astronomers at the Asteroid Terrestrial Impact Last Alert System, the acronym ATLAS, spotted an object hurtling through our solar system on an escape trajectory. Given its velocity and its eccentricity,
eccentric.
Between six...
Mr. President?
Eccentricity.
It was estimated to be an interstellar object. All right. Astronomers have kept a close eye on it. What is the problem?
You try to explain this.
I'm gonna help you.
I bet.
I'm gonna lay this out there for you.
I got her nailed down.
Okay, now listen up.
Here we go.
Astronomers have kept a close eye on the object. Can't thank you enough for the time. Now known to be a comet due to its distinctive outgassing behavior. We have that on this show. They have found a number of unusual features of the object, which may well be a 10 billion-year-old time capsule from an earlier age in the universe. In other words, this is when the neighbors got together on Main Street 10 billion years ago and buried the time capsule. Right. And now she's loose. Okay?
Yep.
That makes
You go and laugh
sense.
all you want.
Yeah.
This is a big deal.
Laugh all you want.
Let's see. They got him.
People laughed at Noah, too.
That's right.
Yep.
So what have we learned?
That the end is nigh upon us.
As
thankfully.
the object... Well, what have we learned as the object approached perihelion? You know where that is.
Oh, yeah.
In a new study, which has not yet been peer-reviewed, astronomers report that it appears to have changed color for the second time using Solar Terrestrial Relations Observatory, acronym STEREO. Mm-hmm. The solar and heliospheric something.
Yep.
And weather cell. Hell with it.
Got it.
It's up there. She's a big one.
That.
She changes colors on you. Big bang, boom.
Headed our way.
And it's coming this way. She defies gravity. Sometimes it ducks behind the sun, takes a break.
I mean, in and out.
They eat lunch.
Again, I mentioned this before, but do it. Watch the movie Don't Look Up.
Okay.
It's a fun sci-fi movie about the world coming to an end.
Is it true story?
Yeah.
You
The
serious,
world
Clark?
actually came to an end. That thing hit. We died.
She gone.
Rook, before the mayor does this...
I have to do this now.
I know, but I have a question for Matthew because I was looking at something. What is the Paid Family Leave Act? Is there a certain number of hours
for
and
God's
days?
sakes.
Hold on.
No.
For full-time as opposed to part-time, or is it the same for everybody?
It's the same.
How many hours is it, roughly?
It's 20 weeks, so 480 hours.
Okay.
Something like that.
Well, because I was just looking at the 2026 calendar. The first is a Thursday, January 1st. And I believe the second is a Friday, and that's a Hubbard holiday. So I think my dad's going to get really sick January 5th, and I'm going to have to take care of him.
Especially on Fridays and Mondays.
Yes.
All Fridays and Mondays, my dad is sick.
Only
This
because
this isn't just pregnancy.
No.
Oh, it's anything you can
Caring
dream
for a
up.
loved one.
Your car doesn't start.
Just pull the joke,
This
Kenny.
is bonding.
Joe, may I interrupt for just a moment?
Why not?
Because as often happens, Chris and I have little arguments.
You don't listen to him when you disagree, John.
So I looked it up, and here's the deal.
What
Here's
are we
your
fighting
ballot.
about now?
I hate
I'm going to
facts.
use music. Here's your
good.
ballot.
Yep.
Okay?
Yep.
Here's the other side of the ballot. What do you notice about this side? Well, you can see through the paper, but this is blank paper.
Yeah.
See, so when you fill out your ballot like this, you should fold it like this, where there's nothing.
But, John,
and then
if
put
you
it in
look
the
at the
envelope.
ballot that I showed Joe, if you do that, the return address is not visible through the window of the envelope.
That is not what I saw online, but I'll double check that.
John, what's the song you're holding
Only
up?
because they come to us all the way.
I have something for you, Joe.
I have to go.
It is? Theme from the
I have
couple?
something for you. But John
Jazz
and Chris,
version.
eventually you two are going to have to make out and hit the hay.
They're going
You
to
missed one
settle out of
story.
court like Gary Shandling.
You missed one story, Joe. Traces of human DNA found in 2 billion-year-old Martian meteorite.
There you are.
They're
There
coming.
it is,
They're
right
coming.
there.
Right there.
That's it. And
Those are coming.
They're on that ship.
Yep.
Yeah, I bet they are.
Only because they come to us all the way from the traveling Lymans in the Gulf of Guinea off the west coast of Africa.
Guinea.
On this day, honest to God,
November 5th.
1862,
Is this Old Guinea or New Guinea?
the military commission headed by Sibley I'm tired of Sibley being in this
Right.
day in history.
Come on, Papa Guinea.
On this day,
On November 5th.
in 1875, suffrage was extended to women in elections pertaining to schools. Women did not earn the right to vote in every election until 1919.
We need to get back to those old school values.
I mean, then, what happened after that?
On this day,
November 5th.
in 1903, the Minneapolis Symphony Orchestra, conducted by Emil Oberhofer, presented its first concert. The orchestra replicated the concert in 1927 with Henry Verbruggen conducting, and in 1993 is the Minnesota Orchestra, directed by Stanislaw Stroszewski, whatever the hell his name
Polish.
is. These weren't in order. On this day,
November 5th.
in 1905, Minneapolis saloons closed their door for Dry Sunday, and no liquor was available for purchase within the city limit.
Unless you had the special handshake.
On this day,
Joe, today is November 5th.
in 1975, as hundreds gathered in Mankato to commemorate the Dakota who were executed there, eagles gathered in the sky above them. Many interpreted this as a sign of healing between the Dakota Nation and the United States.
Wow.
Yeah, they still got screwed.
On this day,
Yeah, November 5th.
1991, Chua Lee was elected to the St. Paul School Board, the first Hmong person elected to a public position in the U.S. After serving one term, she declined re-election.
So that's the way to do it.
Did we have issues with voting after the snowstorm that year?
I don't know. On this day,
All right.
in 1996,
Move on.
Satvir S. Chowdhury was elected to the Minnesota House of Representatives, making him the first known Indian American to serve on the legislature. He later served as state senator from 2001 to 2011. On this day,
Does it say what he did in his private life?
no.
Oh.
On this day,
November 5th.
in 2002, Norm Coleman was elected U.S. Senator, defeating Walter Mondale by 2 percentage points. Mondale was a replacement candidate for Wellstone, who was killed in a plane crash on October 25th, 2002.
Yes.
On this day in Minnesota sports history,
November 5th.
disappointment history,
November 5th.
1989.
Vikings.
Following a win against the Rams,
Damn it!
Jerry Burns went on an epic, not safe for work rant defending his offensive coach, Bob Schnelker. I don't have time for you to play it.
Okay.
Because you weren't on the ball.
You got Alfred Anderson? The freaking shoe comes off?
That's it.
Yeah.
But it was a dumb f***ing play when his foot was, shoe was coming off up the lines because we were hard take time out. We had a f***ing trap play called, and his f***ing shoe comes off. That ain't Bob Schnelker's fault.
Thank
we have
you.
another f***ing trap play, and
we've
if
played it
Vinny picks up
before.
his f***ing feet, he walks in. Everybody booing the shit out of me. He works his ass off. They
Thank
put his
you.
picture up there, and the f***ers boo him.
Next question was Patrick, wasn't it?
Well, Pat did that to keep it going.
He wound them all up again.
Hey, how about that shoe?
You know, in honor of that, I'm listening to the uncensored version on the town council today.
Ooh. Be forewarned.
On this day,
Joe, today is November 5th.
He bit on the hook, didn't he?
He sure did.
He bit on the hook.
who?
Bernsey.
Bernsey.
Oh, he did. Big time.
Hey, is Schnelker going to be there next week?
On this day,
November 5th.
in 2001,
Okay.
Oh, the Minnesota Sports Facilities Commission threatened legal action if the Twins did not fulfill their lease. So that was helpful in preventing what was called contraction.
Remind me, what year?
2001.
2001,
Yeah.
sure.
Thank you, Gene.
And the club was never the same.
Yeah, I'll say.
Hey, do us a favor if you haven't done so already. Hit subscribe on the Garage Logic YouTube channel. That's right. You can join the 18,000 plus subscribers on the Garage Logic YouTube channel where you can watch the show each and every single day starting right around noon. And you can also see full segments, video shorts, behind the scenes footage. It's all there for you. Just search Garage Logic, 2 words, on YouTube. And also search for us on all of our social media channels, which includes Facebook, Instagram, and X. And also sign up for the Daily Logician. That's an email that comes right to your inbox each and every single day. And it includes the most recent episode of the podcast. Find out more and sign up today at garagelogic.com. It is time once again that we check in with our guy, Mr. Money Talk. Josh Arnold is with us once again right here in Garage Logic. And now is the time for you to do the same. So do not delay. Do exactly what I did and pick up that phone and dial 952-925-5608. That number once again is 952-925-5608. When you call that number, you're going to get Josh. And he is there for you for that free, yes, I use the word free, 48-minute financial consultation with absolutely zero obligation. And he will always give you the straight talk. He will never give you the sugar-coated advice. And he is on the line with us once again right here in Garage Logic. And Josh, a question for you from just a personal level. Does a day after an election day really have any bearing on the stock market?
We would say it depends, but this time, not really. Now, the market, both the S&P, the Dow, and the NASDAQ happen to be up today, but is unrelated to what is going on with the election, whether it be in Minneapolis, St. Paul, Virginia, New Jersey, or New York City. I think the market today is primarily concerned about corporate earnings, maybe some positive news on tariffs, and the direction of the Federal Reserve. And it will say the direction of interest rates. But if I look first and say, okay, the market is most affected today, the day after election, by corporate earnings news that have been coming out, and analysts looking and saying, oh, well, maybe we oversold companies that were involved with artificial intelligence yesterday, and their prices came down to a point where we could go back and buy them back, as numerous companies around artificial intelligence gotten a little bounce, whether it is Google, Microsoft, or Oracle, or even NVIDIA, have gotten a little bit of a bounce back. Not a lot, but a little bit of a bounce back today after some heavy-duty selling yesterday. And some of the selling yesterday came after Monday night's earnings from Palantir, which is a company that I currently own. My clients own it, and we trade it because of, one, its volatility. Two, it is a very expensive stock on both a price to earnings and price to sales basis, and that's something we have covered. Palantir is one of the few companies that is actually making money off of their data analytics platform that utilizes artificial intelligence, but it is not a loved stock by analysts or Wall Street, primarily because of its valuation, despite the fundamentals continuing to improve. Most analysts look at a Palantir and other high-priced spreads that are around artificial intelligence and say, oh my goodness, these stocks have valuations that far exceed anything that we have ever seen before. Today, with some of the valuations down after selling, I think that there are other investors that are coming back in to take advantage of that brief sell-off. you've also seen, earnings coming in from other, we'll say, non-tech companies, a little bit better and better than expected. And if the earnings weren't as good, their guidance, is a little bit better than expected, and that also has boosted stock price. So it's not only the earnings of companies. A lot has to do with what the companies are guiding into the next quarter and into the next year, and that will help with the valuation, and that'll move away from the impact of the government shutdown, which to me is beyond the pale, that folks in Congress and the Senate, and particularly the Senate, shutting down the government in order to provide, as they said, we need leverage. This is the only leverage that we have to get some of our quote-unquote needs established, and that makes no sense because they've already voted on the same continuing resolution about 13 times, which is something else. Again, hey, you guys should be able to sit down, come up with a budget, and pass a budget. Whoever is in charge or the leading party in the House or the Senate. This continuing resolution nonsense is just that, but I'm getting far afield of, talking about investments. I still am of the belief the markets will be volatile over the next many, many months. So do pay attention to that. And the volatility will come from what the Fed is doing, to some extent on any impact on trade and or tariffs, and the direction that companies are setting with their guidance. My suggestion, as always, is to keep up to 30% in cash so that you have money available for the inevitable pullbacks, and the balance invested in companies in my focus group around internet, leisure, China-related businesses, and companies that are heavy in real assets.
Excellent advice, as always, Mr. Money Talk. You heard him, GLers. Now is the time for you to pick up the phone and to make the call for that free 48-minute financial consultation with absolutely zero obligation. And you do that just like I did by dialing 952-925-5608, where you always get straight talk and never, ever sugar-coated advice. Josh, once again, thank you so much for the time and the chat and the flexibility. Enjoy the rest of your day, and we'll talk to you again tomorrow.
Look forward to it.
Investment services offered by Josh Arnold Investment Consultant, LLC, a security investment advisor. Past performance is no guarantee of future results. All investments involve risk. All comments and opinions are Josh Arnold's and do not constitute investment advice.
Chris Reavers is a paid endorser.